fighters would you say, in your experience, will actually kind of help you with preparing for Terrence Crawford?
Um, I don't think I don't think is anybody to help prepare me for Terrence Crawford, just because his style is different from everybody else. It's just like saying, when Ray Leonard fought Tommy Hearns, what style would help him for Tommy. I don't think he fought anybody like Tommy until he fought Tommy, and there's vice versa. So
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Fresh and Smooth Boxing TV. It's your boy Fresh checking in. It's currently 7 a.m. I still ain't been to sleep yet. I'm working, grinding, working on the channel. But I just want to touch on some Errol Spence news that I've been doing my research about, and let's get right into it. So, man, first I want to start the video off by saying, man, shout out to Errol. Keep your head up, brother. We just went through a rough time. July wasn't a great month for us. And like I say, I do have my favorites as far as fighters, but when it comes to podcasting, I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to just give it to you guys raw. So I'm going to just go through some of the things that I've been studying about Earl, some updated news, the rematch with Terrence Crawford, Jermell Charlo. Let's talk about it. So let's just start it off by, we haven't really seen a lot of Errol Spence since the loss, July 29th to Terrence Crawford. But at the end of the day, what do you expect, guys? I mean, he just took the first loss of his career. It was a very horrible loss. He got outclassed. And I'm going to dig deeper into that as the video goes on. But, man, guys, if you guys follow us, man, you like what we're doing, man, hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram at Fresh and Smooth Boxing TV. I'm on there posting every day, but you already know what it is if you've been following. But at the end of the day, Earl went out on his shield, man. So we can't take nothing away from Errol Spence, man. He went out on the shield. I mean, the referee had to get up in there and shut it down because it looked like Bud was just chopping him down. Like, Earl said he was supposed to break him, and he was the one that got broken that night. And the reason why I feel as though all that happened, with Earl is because he takes long periods of inactivity. First, it was the car accident, and the car accident didn't sit well with him because he just changed after that. I think his speech changed. And I ain't saying nothing bad about Earl because he still could fight. He still went in there and whooped on Danny Garcia, beat Eudenis Ugas. So he could still fight. But in those fights, he was making a lot of mistakes, man. Like he would throw a hook and be all the way off, and his defense wasn't right where it needed to be afterwards to catch the punches and keep shooting afterwards. And a lot of people I've seen on the build up to the Crawford fight, they said, if Earl does this, he's going to pay dearly. And what exactly happened? He did that, and he paid dearly. So that just says it all, So I don't want to get off track here, but I'm just saying I'm hoping Earl's already back in the lab. I hope he spend time with his family, enjoy some of that money that he made. But he got to get back in the lab because of what I'm hearing is that he'll be back. They're trying to set negotiations for this fight in February. But like I said, let me get back to what I was saying. Earl has long periods of inactivity, and with the car accident set him back. And then he was going to fight Pacquiao. The tore retina set him back. Then he fought Ugas. Then he was out of the ring for, I believe, like 14 months or something like that. 12 months, 13. No, about 14 months. So, dude, you can't keep having inactivity, especially as you get older in your career. As age comes up, you're not that spring chicken no more. You can't fight the same. Like, you got to be active. So I'm hoping he's getting some serious sparring. I hope they're throwing in some fast guys so he can learn how to, get his timing back. I think his timing was really off, and that's what was really throwing him off. His timing was off, and Bud was on point. And this ain't to take nothing away from Bud, because Bud's a great fighter, and everybody knows that. To me right now, he's number one pound for pound. And that's just what it is. So don't go getting in the comments, getting all Bud hurt and soft. Ain't nobody talking about Bud. Bud is a great fighter, and I give him full credit for the win. On to the next. Now, Earl, another thing. Now we talked about his inactivity, and now let's talk about the weight. I truly believe Errol Spence was weight drained. He wasn't rehydrated enough. Like, he looked weak. And when is one time you could ever say Errol Spence looked weak? Okay, don't worry, I'll wait. So with that being said, he looked weak. He didn't look like himself. So that right there is enough for an argument for a rematch, because we can argue and say that Earl didn't look like himself and let him go to the next weight class up. And if Bud could beat him, okay, at least he got his chance to get his lick back. And this is just what it's about, because when Bud was in a position where he wanted to get in there, Earl bent it backwards, gave him more money, to, agreed to everything, didn't fight anybody else at all until he got in there with Buzz. So and Buzz making it very hard. And I think this is going to have to, Earl's going to have to take a pay cut and pay Bud more just so they can get the rematch at 54. And and that's just what it is. And I'm guaranteeing that. How about that? I'm guaranteeing that because Buzz not going to go. Buzz not bending no more. He said he spent his whole career, being on the B side, and now he's the A side. He's going to call the shots, and as he has the right to do. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. So that's fine. But that's the argument we have, that Earl looked weight trained. He didn't look like himself, and what is he going to look like? That's the beauty in it. What is he going to look like at 154? And that's what I'm waiting to see. And until then, I'm standing on that he has a chance to, to do something. I mean, I still favor Bud. I have to, because look what he did to Earl. But we're going to see how this all plays out in the all access training camp. See how he looks. See how everything's going, and then we can go from there and make a decision. But another thing I want to touch on is why Earl wasn't at the Charlo fight. Those guys, they're always at each other's fights, and I'm not going to make a big deal out of why he wasn't there. I just think that he didn't want to take attention away from the whole, this is his brother, they're brothers, Charlo and Spence. He doesn't want to take away the shine from Charlo's big day, because if Earl pops up, first of all, we haven't seen Earl on the scene since the incident. So since the incident of the big loss. So all the questions will be surrounding Earl, why he wasn't there, X, Y, Z, and why, excuse me, guys. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track here. The whole thing would be surrounding why, what's up, Earl? What are you doing? Is the rematch happening? X, Y, Z. We want to talk about Earl, and that would be taking shine away from Jermell Charlo. And Jermell, for his big night, I think Earl did the right thing, And at the end of the day, guys, if that's really your brother, you don't want to take shine away from him. So I agree why he wasn't there. That's what I feel like would happen, but we never really know. Maybe he's still going through it. He wants to just focus on getting his lick back. But you seen in the all access and the epilogue, he FaceTimed him. He told him he loved him, and he was proud of him, and just keep your head up type thing. It was just one of those brother conversations. So it is what it is, man. Like, everybody has an opinion and they want to talk and say this and that. Well, that's just what it is, man. These are the facts here, that they're still brothers. They want to say, oh, because Charlo was like, oh, don't have me breathing like Earl. Don't have me breathing like Earl in the all access. No, anybody that does run, if you're a runner, I ran a 15K before. Once you're running for a long period of time, that, your breathing is going to change. Sometimes it's heavy. Sometimes, you get it back under control. So that being said, don't get into the mix, the wishy-washy of this and that and them not being cool. Come on, man. They're going to be cool forever. They're both under Derek James. As we know now, we haven't heard of Errol changing trainers yet. But yeah, the rematch should be taking place in February with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. So Errol has to get that. It has to start getting ready for that. They haven't agreed on the weight, but like I said earlier, I believe that Errol's gonna have to cough up some money, some of his cut to get him to go up to 154, and that's just what it is, because that's just how it's gonna have to be. What I just told you about the A and B side. So with that being said, really what I was just trying to touch on is just saying that don't believe the hype that Earl wasn't at the fight because he was mad at Charlo, or Earl has his own personal things going on right now. He's trying to get ready for a rematch, the rematch of his life. So you can't really knock that. And I believe is that he does have a chance to do something in the rematch. I don't know what yet, because we haven't got there yet. But I'm just saying you can't never count him out. He went out on the show. He showed he has a tremendous amount of heart. But heart doesn't win fights. He needs to work on those skills, hone those skills. Because he's already a great fighter, but he just has to make minor adjustments just to make the fight different. That's all. And regardless, I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Regardless, he's gonna have to answer all those questions, anyways, about what's up, what happened, why didn't he look good in the fight, what happened with his performance, everything along those lines. What's next when he does sign for another fight, whether it's with Crawford or somebody else? He's gonna have to answer those questions. So he's not hiding. He's just he's being secluded right now. He just took the first loss of his career. He's trying to probably figure things out and figure out how he's going to bounce back. Probably getting his team together. I'm pretty sure they're trying to get ready for a tremendous training camp or whoever's next, because he calls himself the big fish, man. He's not the type of guy that's just going to just go out and change. No, he's going to come back bigger and better. So shout out to Errol Spence, man. This is all I got for you guys today. Again, don't think there's any misunderstanding between Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo. He wasn't at the fight because Errol has a lot going on, and I believe he didn't want to take his shine from his brother. You know what I mean? They call each other brothers. So that's just that. This is all I got for y'all right now. We are working on something new, guys. We're going to start doing fight highlights, as far as old fights or just recent fights, Jermell Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez. We'll just chop it up and how can I say this? Just do highlights, and me and Smooth will be in our backdrop. We'll be in the corner and we'll be talking about the fights. Some of them we'll do like that. Some of them we'll just put the highlights up. We're just trying different things, guys. So we appreciate you guys rocking with the channel, man. Thank you guys so much. We just hit 600 subscribers. That was fast, from 5 to 6 real quick. So we appreciate you guys, family. I look at you guys as family. Thanks for rocking out with us. If you got anything you want to say in the comments, I do check the comments. So, if you want to talk to me personally about anything I just said, or from here on out into the future, or even old videos, just throw a comment and I'll see it. I'll get back to you guys. I appreciate the growth of the channel. Follow us on Instagram at Fresh and Smooth Boxing TV. You guys already know. I already said that 1,000 times. I'm running that. I'm taking care of that over there. And yeah, man, we're just looking to keep growing and just keep doing our thing. We appreciate everything again. And like I said, this is just the beginning. So Fresh and Smooth Boxing TV is here to stay, man. Fresh is out. Bow.